But today we want to really zoom in on what we call the core four coaching skills. These are coaching skills that you're going to use in every conversation, every single time you're talking with someone. And I need to highlight again, you can use these coaching skills in your personal life. You can use them with your colleagues, with volunteers at your organization, or the people that are coming in and getting services. Okay. It's really more about how do I create an environment for collaboration. So there are four of them: establishing and holding the focus, asking powerful questions, reflective listening, and asking permission. Let's go ahead and dive in with establishing and holding the focus. This is, I would say, probably the more important skill when you're at the beginning of a conversation to kind of set up the pole tense. What are we here to talk about? It's hard to stay aligned with someone's if the conversation is just kind of which way. I don't know where I'm supposed to, I don't know how to call it one way or another because I need to establish and hold the focus on what we're doing. Okay. So this coaching skill empowers participants by putting them in control of the conversation. The coach begins by asking what the participant would like to focus on and then ensures that the conversation stays on track by guiding and maintaining focus on the chosen topic throughout the session. This helps to keep the work purposeful and aligned with the participants' goals. I'm going to pull over for a second. Has anyone ever had like a meeting with someone, an hour-long meeting with someone, and you at the end of it were like, I don't really know what we accomplished, but I'm going to write some notes because the person just kind of like, um, what's the word I'm looking for? They rambled. Have you ever been in a conversation with a rambler? Okay. Can I offer you something about what happens when people are rambling and they're in situations and conversations with folks like us? Rambling sometimes is a result of limiting beliefs. Rambling is sometimes a result of the inner critic. Okay. It is a form of avoidance. Sometimes it's a lack of focus or I got a lot of things on my mind, but sometimes it's a form of avoidance when we're rambling, when we get in these sessions and we know that there's a particular end we need to get to, or there's something that you're going to want to talk to me about and I don't want to talk about it. Okay. If we have a meeting and I know that we're supposed to talk about like, that resume that I'm intimidated to do because I'm not confident in my work experience, then I get in here and I ramble, I eat up the time, and now we don't have to talk about the thing that's intimidating or scary to me to talk about. And so as a coach, if we're creating the environment that makes change possible, one of the easiest ways, one of the most immediate ways that we can kind of edge that out is to establish and hold the focus. What are we here to talk about today? What feels important for us to focus on? Where would you like to start today? What's important for us to accomplish today? Okay. So we're setting the tone for the meeting by immediately putting them in the driver's seat. That's being person-centered, you know? And so if they say, hey, the resume thing, it's making me anxious. I don't really want to talk about that. I'm sorry. Can we talk about something else? Then we go that way. The point is, we're setting them up for this idea of self-advocacy because they have to say it. They have to say what it is they want or don't want. Okay. So that's the first thing, is that we're going to establish and hold this focus. Okay. That's what I want to offer you all today when we're talking about establishing the focus. It is important as the coach that you know your role and be committed to directing the participant back to what we established as the focus. That's what your role is. You're the umpire. You're there to ask the question, well, okay, thank you for sharing about the food market trip. Can you help me connect that to what we're working on today about looking for a job? Can you help me make that make sense about, your work history? Okay. It's also about being flexible enough to go in a different direction if the focus switches. Here's the thing. They have to tell us, because we're putting them in that driver's seat. This is all scaffolding. This is not, and I'm going to just speak frankly here, this is not babysitting. Scaffolding says, I'm going to give you the support that you need at this time with the expectation that you won't always need this support. And so the idea of establishing the focus and also being flexible within that is to say, We can focus on whatever you want to focus on. I'm going to always put you in the driver's seat. And on the other side of that, as the participant, I need you to be willing and honest and open enough with me to tell me if you would like to switch the focus. Bring me along in the conversation with you. That's what you're doing as a coach. That's what you're asking them to do as a coach. Okay. And so it's okay to switch, but we have to communicate the switch so that we can stay on the same page. That's what you would say to your participant. And we're going to give you some tools where you can write down those focuses and whatnot. But sometimes when people's minds are being pulled every which way, it's hard for them to stay focused. They don't even know that they've gone off track. And so your role as the coach is to bring that focus back in. All right. Is to hold that door open for them so that all they need to do is to come in and do the things that are important to them. So again, all of this stuff about coaching and collaborating with people is all about setting up the environment that makes the change possible. I might not be able to quantifiably record, yes, I helped them learn how to stay on track in a conversation. I'm sure that there's no box at your office that you can check that counts that as a win, but it is a win. Okay. It is helping someone develop the skills that they need to be able to collaborate, not just with you, but the people in their own life. Okay. And so when you get really good at being curious and just kind of leaning in and saying, and I kind of put it on me, can you help me understand how that connects? What is it that you want me to get out of that? It might be me. Help me out. Explain it to me like a 5-year-old. Can you help me understand how that connects? Because you get it. The tone there is you understand it, and I want to understand it too. Okay. And so a lot of the establishing and holding the focus is giving them the space and then asking, how am I helping you stay within the bounds of what you said are your focus, is your focus. All right, because this time is all about you.